To begin, violent anti-government protesters took to the streets of Quito, Ecuador Wednesday night. They called for the ouster of President Rafael Correa and attacked journalists and supporters of the country's governing party. Former Ecuadorian Culture Minister Paco Velasco was injured during the protests. You saw him there. The demonstrations have been called to protest new taxes that will affect the wealthy. This includes an inheritance tax and a proposed law regulating capital gains. The protest on Wednesday was the second such act, which saw government and opposition supporters take to the streets. For more now, we're going to turn live to our correspondent Liz Sherfia. She is there in the capital of Quito. Liz, what else can you tell us about these protests that unfolded last night and the night before last? Hello, Liz. What else can you tell us about these protests that we just saw last night and the night before last?
Yes, Cody, thank you. For the past 3 days, there have been pro-government and opposition protests here in Quito and in major cities across the country, also in Guayaquil. As you said, last night, opposition protesters responded with violence, striking former Culture Minister Paco Velasco in the head with a bottle. According to the Ministry of the Interior, there are about 300 police officers that were working to both separate and protect the two groups of demonstrators, as well as prevent the entrance of opposition protesters into the País Alliance Party headquarters. Now, protesters have been gathering on Chiri's Avenue in Quito in front of the País Alliance Party headquarters for the past 3 days. Pro-government demonstrators, it's been more of a festive event for pro-government demonstrators with music and really celebrating the gains made under the Citizens' Revolution. And opposition protesters have been largely responding with harassment and violence. Now, as you said, Cody, the two main issues at hand are two recently submitted bills by the executive branch to the National Assembly, which is a tax on inheritances and the law for capital gains. Now, opposition leaders such as former presidential candidate Guillermo Lasso, Mayor of Guayaquil Jaime Nebot, and National Assembly member Andres Paez have, via their Twitter accounts, expressed their disagreement with these bills and have encouraged citizens to take to the streets over these measures. President Rafael Correa has come out and said that these opposition demonstrators are part of a larger plot to destabilize his government. The law on inheritances is really not a new measure in Ecuador, Cody. It's been in place since 1927, and this measure will only affect 2% of all Ecuadorians who receive an inheritance tax. For the law of capital gains, we are going to go now to this report that we made up for more context on the issue.